Hello everyone, and welcome to the channel for a brand new episode of Pros and Cons. If you're new around here, my name is Dusty, and here we like to discuss the pros and cons of each class setup to gain a better understanding of how we can better perform within Warzone. Today we shall be looking at the second submachine gun for this series, and is perhaps one of my favourite weapons, and that is the MP5. We will not only break down its stats, but also look at some of the key strategies and tips and tricks of how to best use this class setup to dominate other players and get onto that helicopter with yet another victory. If you enjoyed today's video, be sure to drop a like and consider subscribing for more strategy guides in the future. With that said, let's discuss the MP5 in more depth. The MP5 is a 9mm Parabellum submachine gun developed in the 1960s by a small German team of engineers from the German manufacturer Heckler & Koch. There are over 100 variants of the MP5, including some semi-automatics. It is one of the most widely used submachine guns, while being adopted by over 40 nations, and was widely used by SWAT teams in North America before being supplemented to the M16 series. In 1980, the MP5 achieved iconic status as a result of the British Special Forces Regiment, the SAS, when they stormed the Iranian embassy in London during Operation Nimrod. For the MP5 stats, it comes in with a base damage of 34 hit points, and with a headshot bonus of 49. It has a base magazine size of 30 rounds, but can be upgraded to 45. It has a rounds per minute of 800, where the MP5 really shines though, is with its time to kill, as it will only take 150 milliseconds to down a base health player, making it 100 milliseconds faster compared to the Grau. Arguably the most popular class in Warzone currently. For a fully armored player, this class will take roughly 520 milliseconds to down your opponent. In terms of recoil for this blueprint, the MP5 does like to climb and sway to the right. The deviation isn't too bad and is fairly easy to manage. By simply pulling in the opposite direction with your sticks or your mouse, you can control this recoil and send all 45 rounds on target. The deviation will increase with further range, so bear this in mind. Moving on, we can discuss how we have built today's blueprint for the MP5. For our barrel, we have the integrated monolithic suppressor. With our stock, we have the classic straight line stock, the rubberized grip tape, the 45 round magazine, and lastly, the commando foregrip. All of these attachments are generally geared towards maximising control for taking out as many players as possible. We can talk about this later though. For now, let's continue with our loadout. For my secondary, I am using the AX50 for any long range engagements. You could use the HCR if that is your personal preference, or really any other long range assault rifle. I would highly recommend doing this as the MP5 does like damage at range. For my perks, I am using Cold Blooded, Overkill, and Amped for faster weapon swap. For my lethal, I have the proxy mine and stun grenades for my equipment. All of this combined together complements the playstyle which I'm going to suggest for today, so bear these in mind. For today's playstyle, the MP5 class setup definitely likes to reward players who push the pace. It's excellent close range and allows you to down stacks of players with both the high fire rate and the 45 round magazines. With a long range secondary, you are pretty much well equipped to play in a variety of arenas, but in saying that, I was having the most success in urban areas such as downtown. However, in the more open areas such as military base or lumber, I was able to either snipe from afar or sneak into the hornet's nest with my MP5, taking out a few players before sneaking out again. While I was doing this, I had the Maverick sniping from afar, feeding me intel of player locations and when and not to push. Like our previous loadout video where we looked at the EBR, I felt like I was playing a campaign mission rather than a battle royale. Like most blueprints, there are a variety of loadouts which you could choose from. For example, you could go for more aim down sight speed, building the MP5K. In this photo, we have the inbuilt monolithic suppressor for our barrel, the F-Tac collapsible stock, the stippled grip, the 45 round magazine, and lastly, the Merc foregrip. Now while the MP5 is a very competitive class setup in the current meta, it does have its cons. First up, let's chat about its many perks. It has excellent damage at close range, allowing you to shred multiple players. It has a decent fire rate, giving a fast damage per second. The magazine count is perfect and has a very manageable recoil pattern. Lastly, it has high mobility while being an SMG. For its cons though, it does sadly lack range but can be balanced out with a long range secondary. However, other than that, this is a blueprint I would highly recommend and give it a rating out of 10, a solid 9. It is just super reliable CQB, but be sure to bear in mind that the further the range increases, you're going to lose that competitive edge. With all that said, gentlemen, that is going to do it for today's video. If you would like to see more of these, be sure to drop a like, dislike if you didn't, and if you're new around here, consider subscribing to the channel. With all that said, I'm currently working on a new series where we shall be breaking down our recent gameplay to try and discuss ways of how we can improve our skill overall. My name is Dusty, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Alright.
There, I've got you covered if you fall back. I'm down.
This guy was chasing me, he's in here.
Yeah, they're calling me out. This guy to my left.
To your left. You get this guy in this hut.
I got one. This is the last thing now.
Yeah, I'm
done.
armor.
This zone's a bit pushing me in.
No stuns, I'm with you. Nice! Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. MP5 in that like kind of close confined situations are just, oh, it's beautiful.
I killed a guy that was like running into. It was their third man. It was coming in to spank you when you had no one on. Must have been the Murphy show.